The madman thinks he's Peter the Great. For real.
В этом его первых походах. Чего правительство-то возвращал и укреплял. Вот что делал. Вот, ну.
Now that's the part where he was talking about how Peter the Great did things. Right now, here's where he starts to say, now it's fallen to us. Yeah. Or what he means is to me to be the next Peter the Great.
Судя по всему, на нашу тоже.
I think, Craig, this is important. That lays out his basic ruling philosophy. I never thought about it, but I knew he had this. But then you look at it and you go, it's important.
What does Putin really want in 48 seconds? We don't have to guess. He told us many times, and it's not just what everyone repeats, rebuilding the Soviet Union. The madman thinks he's Peter the Great. For real. He stood under a portrait of Peter the Great saying Peter didn't conquer. He returned Russian land last week in Alaska. He said it again. So what else was in Peter's empire Putin covets? Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, even Finland. And in all of them, Putin is already backing politicians in their parliaments. Now, you might say he'd never invade Poland. That's NATO. But we've got a president who cannot consistently commit to NATO. That's the opening Putin needs. So what does Putin really want? Not just to prove dictatorship beats democracy, but to redraw Europe's map into the dream of a dead tsar. If he isn't stopped in Ukraine, he'll keep going. Fight him now or fight him later with far more skin in the game.
Касается нара в этом его первых походах. Чего правительство-то возвращал?
The whole theory of his that he's not invading and occupying land, he's returning them to their proper authority, which is him.
Yeah. That's his justification.
And he's not going to stop until he's dead. I mean, he's never going to stop this.
Well, and the worst thing is who takes over?
Yeah.
Do we get Stalin? Putin's actually pretty good, mild compared to Stalin, remember?
Yeah.
And so,
look at his answer to, Stalin's answer to Ukraine was to starve them to death. He starved the whole damn country. Literally, he starved them until they were compliant.
And that's one of those, when they talk genocide, they come up with a number of them. And for some reason, Stalin never makes the list.
Yeah.
And that's what he did in Ukraine. He did genocide.
And his great line when asked about the Polish problem, as they called it, with the Poles revolting, his answer was, well, that's just a matter of boxcars. You just load them up and haul them to Siberia. It's just a matter of
the problem with the Russian, the old Soviet different states and stuff that made up the Soviet Union is there were one of Russia's ways that the Soviet Union made these countries more Russian was they shipped Russians there to live.
Yeah.
And so that's why you have Russian speaking people in the Ukraine, is because they shipped Russians in there to make it more Russian.
Mm-hmm.
They did the same thing in all of those states.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a sizable Russian minority in every one of those states. And that was partly to control for the ethnic problems they thought they had, or they did have, I guess.
No, Brewster's in favor of NATO defending Ukraine.
Quiet.
That's what Brewster's saying. He wants.
There you go. Yeah,
he wants NATO troops in Ukraine.
Yeah, I think the mailman must have dropped something off.
Oh,
I heard some noise.
I was projecting onto Brewster what I want.
It goes way beyond that one, as you realize that. And I said, well, he's trying to recreate Stalin. But what he's doing is trying to recreate the 19th century.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it worries me. And I'm trying to put together in that we can't go back to wars like we did in the 20th century, you know? And he seems to think that he can push and do that or work on our fears or whatever. And at some point, we've got to stop him and say no.